Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired as a therapist? Let's talk about 4 ways that a therapist can avoid burnout. I'm going to walk you through what burnout feels like, which you probably know all too well, but give you specific things that you can do so that you don't have to be burned out anymore. I've been doing clinical therapy for almost 15 years. I've done a ton of therapy. I've ran a ton of groups, done a ton of individual. I've worked in the hardest of settings, and I've been burned out a lot. And I remember coming home from work one night and my wife looking at me and saying, "Whoa, you're burned out. Like, what's wrong with you?" And I was done. I've learned how not to be burned out as a therapist. I know the tricks to the trade so that I can step into my job and my role as a therapist, but not burn out. And I'm going to show that to you. I had a client who was very difficult. I'm sure you've all had clients who have been very difficult, but she was very, very difficult. And as she would walk into my therapy office, I had a big window that looked out to the parking lot. And I remember her parking in the parking lot, getting out of her car, and me watching her walk in, dreading it, thinking, ugh, I don't know if I can spend an hour with her right now. I'm not saying this to rip on her or anything like that. I'm just saying there's those clients that drain you. They take the life right out of you. And I started to have a lot of clients like that. And things started to happen to me physically. I got a lot of headaches. I got tension in my eyes. I had no energy. I had no energy to spend with my kids, with my wife. I was completely shutting down. And I'd go to work every day feeling like I was doing good for the world, but also feeling like I was done. I was spent. I currently train therapists. I work with about 20 therapists every day. And not one of those therapists avoids burnout. They all go through a cycle where they feel really, really good and then they get burned out. Burnout sucks. It's hard. And it's confusing because you don't want to quit your job. You love being a therapist, but you want to quit your job because you don't love being a therapist at the same time. I remember wanting to do other things, but also knowing that God wanted me to continue to do therapy. And it was confusing and it was difficult to navigate. Till finally I learned how not to be burned out as a therapist. One of the first things I discovered was balance in my practice. I needed to balance things out. I was doing way too many sessions. So I added some groups to my caseload. And I actually enjoy group more than individual. I let go of some of the individual sessions, which was really hard to do because I had less time for my clients, but I had to do it for me. So I balanced my practice out more. I also adjusted the times that I would spend doing therapy. And I realized when I was really good at therapy and when I wasn't. I know that late in the afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock, doing sessions then is really hard on me and not good for me. I took all of those appointments out of my schedule. I worked with a therapist once who was like 80 years old and he was still doing 25 sessions a week. He was an Iron Man. But I remember seeing him thinking, that better not be me. I don't want to do that many sessions when I'm that old. I want to transition into something different. I needed vision and I needed hope that I could actually take my practice to new levels, that I could create different products and help people in different ways. So I started to open up to those ideas. And this helped with my burnout because it gave me a direction and it gave me a vision and some hope going forward. I started having boundaries with my clients. These were mostly emotional boundaries, but I learned how to not take their stuff on so much. I didn't feel like I needed to fix everything in their lives. I handed those things back over to them. If they blamed me, if they were upset with me, that was about them. It wasn't about me. I was honest with them. I was direct with them. I was good at my job, and I handed their stuff back to them. Another thing that I learned how to do was how to release their energy. And this is going to sound kind of weird, but I would go through some rituals in my day where I could let things go. I'm an empath. I care deeply about people and I connect to people. So I needed to learn how to take that energy and give it to God and give it away. Things like building a fire in my backyard and just watching the fire burn helped me release the energy. Water also helps me. So sitting in a hot tub, or I used to actually go sit in a river sometimes to let that water flow past me and feel that energy moving and releasing it to nature. So these type of self-care things actually are really beneficial. Exercise is a great way to do it as well. Go exert force and energy and move that around so that you can feel healthier and not get burned out. Another thing that really helped with my burnout was earning passive income. Instead of trading time for money and feeling like I always had to be there at my practice, I started making money while I was sleeping. I started making money on other products and in other ways. This took the pressure off of me to try to be there all the time. It helped me to be able to choose who I wanted to meet with, how many I wanted to meet with, and what my schedule actually was. So that was really important that I created income outside of just doing sessions day in and day out. I'm gonna give you 2 more pointers to help you avoid burnout. But before I do, if you're a therapist and you're listening to this, then please comment below so other therapists can connect and know that they're not alone in feeling the way that they're feeling. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Another thing to do to avoid burnout is support from other therapists. So I'm lucky because I work with 20 other therapists. Also, my older brother is a therapist. So he gets me in a way that nobody else does. He understands what it feels like to be in therapy sessions all day long. I can call him, we can laugh together, we can talk with each other, and in that we release all of the pain and the energy that we deal with every single day. So it's a blessing to have support and a blessing to be able to talk through the ways that I'm feeling. Another thing to do is to start your passive income practice, to actually start creating those products that I was talking about. Start building an audience, start creating courses, create a subscription site where people can get content from you so that you feel like you're helping people, but at the same time, you don't have to be in the chair every single day getting burned out. If you don't want to be burned out anymore and you're hearing me talk about passive income, then you're gonna really like my video, 5 steps to scale your therapy practice and create passive income. So find that right here.